This short video will take you through what a requisition is and how and when to raise one on Agresso. A requisition is essentially an intent to make a purchase for goods or services. In order to get the most out of the system and to build good working relationships with our suppliers, it is really important that you always raise a requisition at the point in which you know you will be making a purchase. This is important as when a requisition request is authorised, an email is sent to the supplier with the purchase order number to then enable the supplier to create their invoices clearly displaying the purchase order number. This enables us to pay our suppliers promptly. In situations where a total cost is challenging to understand, as it is an ongoing service that is being provided, a process will need to be agreed with the supplier that a final cost is provided prior to the invoice being created to enable a requisition to then be raised. Suppliers will send their invoices directly to Telford, where our invoice scanning takes place, and the software used will look for a purchase order number on the invoice. Any invoice that doesn't have a purchase order number on it will be returned to the supplier, and this will lead to a delay in their payment. Please note that handwritten purchase order numbers on invoices won't be accepted by the system. Upon financial approval of the requisition by the relevant cost code budget holder, Agresso will generate a purchase order with a purchase order number. The purchase order is automatically sent to the supplier, and a copy is emailed to you, the requester, for your own information and records. There is no need to send purchase orders on to suppliers, as the system will do this for you. To raise a requisition, select Procurement from the menu on the left-hand side of the Agresso landing screen. Select Requisition Entry. The Requisition Entry screen will then be displayed. In the Requisitioner field, you will see that your name and payroll number have been automatically added. Your default cost center code and location code will automatically be displayed. However, these can be changed if you are ordering a purchase on behalf of a different cost center code or needing to deliver goods or services to another location address. To change the cost center code, either select the icon adjacent to the field and then type in the name of the cost center you are ordering on behalf of. Click Search. Alternatively, if you know the cost center code, then this can be just typed into the field on the main requisitions entry screen. A list of the cost center codes can be found on HNet. The location code is related to where you would like the item delivered to or where the service is being delivered. For example, an order for some central office cleaning materials that need to be delivered to the Chippenham office would need to have the Anchor Hanover Chippenham office address selected. To change the location code, either select the icon adjacent to the field and type in the name of the location you would like the order delivered to. Click on Search. Alternatively, if you know the location code, this can be just typed into the field on the main requisitions entry screen. Then click the Add button to create a new line for the product or service required. Each product has a unique 6-digit code assigned to it. This code will need to be entered into the product field. If you know the product code, this can just be typed in and then click Tab to enable the description to be auto-populated. If you do not know the product code, then you can type the name of the product into this field and a list of relevant options will be displayed. Click the Tab key on the keyboard or click in the description field and you will see all the fields auto-populate. You can amend the description details if you need to. You will then need to select the relevant supplier. Enter the name of the supplier you're using in the supplier field and a selection of options will be provided that match your entry. You will notice that the delivery date field auto-populates. This date should only be changed if you know that the product or service will be delivered at a later date. There is a separate user video to show you how to do this. It is important that you consider the delivery date that you are selecting carefully, as once this date is reached, an email will be sent to you to advise that you need to receipt the goods. Remember, you should only carry out the receipting process once the goods or services have been received, and not before. Otherwise, we are potentially paying for goods or services that we have not received. You will then need to enter the quantity that you would like and the cost, not including VAT. Please note that product codes will automatically have an indicator attached within Agresso as to whether that product is subject to VAT and will therefore be automatically assigned. If you find that VAT settings are incorrect, this will need to be raised through the Ask IT portal. Within the Requisitions request screen, you can add multiple entries, providing they are all for the same cost code and location. To add further entries, click the Add button. If you add an entry and then decide you want to remove it before saving the entry, then click on the tick box adjacent to the entry you wish to delete and click the Delete button. In the product text field, you are able to add any notes that you would like to send to the supplier by Agresso. This information will be displayed on the purchase order. The workflow logs field is not used within Anchor Hanover when raising a requisition, and therefore no comments should be added here at this time. This field is used during the authorizations and rejections process later on. Once you have made all your entries and you have checked that these are correct, click Save. A pop-up box will be displayed that will provide the requisition number for the order. This will be a 9-digit code that will always start with 800. We are now going to look at how you add multiple entries for the same product and supplier code using the copy functionality. To make multiple entries for the same product and supplier code, then you can use the copy functionality and then modify each detail on the line as required. The example used here is for a monthly window cleaning contract. Once you have made the first entry, click on the tick box adjacent to the entry and click the Copy button. The same entry will then be displayed on a new line. All you would need to do is change the delivery date. For example, the window cleaner is contracted to come on the first Wednesday of every month, and therefore these would be the delivery dates that need to be entered. In the product text field, you are able to add any notes that you would like sent to the supplier by Agresso. This information will be displayed on the purchase order. The workflow log field is not used within Anchor Hanover when raising a requisition, and therefore no comments should be added here at this time. The field is used during the authorizations and rejections process later on. Once you have made all your entries and you have checked that these are correct, click Save. A pop-up box will be displayed that will provide the requisition number for the order. This will be a 9-digit code that will always start with 800. Agresso will then pass the requisition through the financial approval process, where the relevant approver based on the financial approval limits for your cost code will be emailed to advise that a requisition approval is waiting. For a copy of the financial approval limits, refer to HNet. You have now successfully raised a requisition on Agresso.